Well, we all know that Transformers The Last Knight was a bit of a rough film in many people's estimation. We also know that there were a number of Decepticons in it that never really did get a representation. Enter this guy. This is Dr. Wu's Mozart, their iteration of Mohawk, and he's going to be our focus, as tiny as he is, this time around in the latest GotBot True review. Hey, one hail, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, man, please like, comment, share, of course, subscribe, and while you're at it, light them up, baby. Hit that notification bell, man. It helps me out a ton. It lets you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, The Everything Factor, all the groups that I'm either a mod or an admin for, as well as all my social media links, all of that down in the description below. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. You can check us out on Patreon, see what we offer to you through Teespring, or of course you can hit the join button right here on YouTube. Become a channel member now. There's a couple of versions of Mohawk that is out. This is the Dr. Wu iteration. I got this from Tortoise. I'll leave a link in the description if you would like to have this lad as well. I dig him. I think he's the right size. Now, there's an argument to be made that the other third-party version that's out might fit one's collection better. It depends on your collecting habits. For someone like myself who's a mainline collector, or for someone who's a Legends collector, and there's lots of them out there, this guy is quite well done. And for as tiny as he is surprisingly and shockingly really, really impressive. But don't just take my word for it. Let's head over to the table and take a closer look at this guy. And here we have Dr. Wu's Mozart, who most of us will know as Mohawk from The Last Knight. This is the motorcycle punk who is a knife-wielding nut while also not being able to keep his mouth shut. It is what it is. He's also vehemently loyal to the Decepticon cause. But before we look at him and talk about him, let's get into the packaging first. And Dr. Wu does treat us to some nice packaging that says movie collector. And there's a sword there because nobody wants to say it's The Last Knight, but it's The Last Knight. I mean, it is what it is, right? We have like a schematic outline there, very reminiscent of what we see with Selects, for example, and we have product images here on the back of his robot mode and his motorcycle mode. This is fairly accurate to what he is. He's supposed to be like I think a Confederate Motorcycles 2016 P-51 combat fighter. Don't have a clue what that is, but based on the motorcycle mode he's supposed to have, it's actually fairly accurate, all things considered. Now, word is that motorcycle only had so many units made by a couple of people, and they were like selling for like, I don't know, like over $100,000 or something. And this is an included collector card, and there are definitely stats on the back. I don't know what any of these mean. I don't even know which color it's supposed to be. I don't know if he's like really good with his stats or really weak with his stats, but they're stats. And here we have a bunch of instructions. They're okay, I guess. He comes with two of these itty bitty teeny tiny, I'm going to say set of 4 daggers, I think is what it's supposed to be. And they do peg into the side of his legs. My thumb is next to a tiny hole on the side of his leg. That's where it goes, so it looks like this. There you go. Just a quick little aside here, because I got this guy from Tortoise, we got a little Micromaster in the package. And I don't know who it is, but I know his legs flip down, I know his arms flip out, and he stands up, and he is a nicely done little lad. He is actually quite solid and secure. I have to find out which guy this is, but I like him. He's a well done little KO of a Micromaster. Okay, back to Mozart, or Mohawk if you will. Now our little lad here is nice, there's no doubt about it, but he is definitely lacking some paint apps, specifically green. Like there should be some green on his face, on his hands, on his chest. That's not there, sort of splotched on, but I get it. Look how small we're looking here. So I sort of, like, I understand why. Now, that being said, you know, there is another bigger version out there that does have those paint apps. So if that's what you're looking for, cool. But this, I feel like, scales well with other vehicles because it's kind of the size that a motorcycle should be, or that's how I feel anyway. It definitely fits with the Legends collection, even though it is, even there, quite small. Like, I feel like it's probably best with like New Age. Like, for example, here he is next to core class vertebrae, right, from the Kingdom line. So you can see, like, he is a tiny little lad. There's no doubt about it. And you might not expect much from him, but he's actually quite impressive. So for the paint apps, for the look of the guy, I'm going to say it's a solid 8.5. Like, you definitely know who it is, even though he's missing paint apps. Maybe even a 9. But we'll split the difference, we'll say 8.75. Then in terms of the articulation for the little guy, the head, it goes left, right, up, down, it's on a ball joint. The arms can go well out to the side, they can go forward, they can bend at the elbow, we have a rotation, I think that's because of the elbow. The wrists move in and out. Unfortunately, we don't have a rotation there, but still. These tire pieces, they can move to get out of the way for added articulation. There's a butterfly that brings the shoulder forward as well. The legs can go well out to the side. They can go way back, all the way forward. We have a double knee. We have a bit of an ankle tilt and forward and back on the ankle. So like the guy, as tiny as he is actually like super, super stable. Honestly, the articulation is mind-blowing for something this small. I'm going to say it's a 10. There's nothing more I could want or expect from something this tiny. It is astonishing. What about that transformation? Well, naturally, there are steps in the instructions. I'm going to kind of do it the way that works best for me, and you can check it out from there, I guess. Hopefully, I can kind of show this. This is so tiny that it's one of those that's like hard to actually show. So I'll sort of explain it as we go as well, because it's surprisingly involved for what it is. Okay, so the arms, they come in on that butterfly joint at the shoulder, and then when you line them up, there's a couple of pegs and whatnot that kind of link these arms and hands together. Like there's a peg on the wrist that goes into the other wrist, there's a rectangular peg that goes into a slot on the shoulder, and we kind of leave that there. That will help sort of guide us as we go. Then we can this piece here, we can sort of bring that up over Mohawk's head, and it fits down really quite nicely. Then when it comes to the tires, we can sort of open these out a bit. I do this to get my bearings. Okay, so this is the front tire, and it has two, like it has a section coming up over the tire itself. That will go into two little notches right here next to the green of his head. So we're kind of going to get the legs out of the way, and then we turn this whole thing around, and we bring these in, and they solidify up in there. Then that leaves us with the legs on the side. And the instructions sort of explain to you how to do it, but the bottom line is you're kind of crunching the leg up with the foot gone forward, and you bring it up on the side, and once you have it up in position, it does sort of fit into place. You can also turn these as you see fit on his leg. So we come over here, and again we bend it up on the knee, we bring that foot forward, we bring the whole thing up, and once we got it all up, it goes in. Now, there is a little kickstand, and he stands all right, but if you're like me, and sometimes you like don't want him like leaned on the side, you can actually, I've discovered, like just take his foot down just a little bit, and his foot can act as like a bit of a stabilizer. So like, for me doing stop motion, if I want to film him, say, on this side, like I can put the foot down on the other side, and this works just fine. Here's a close-up version of that vehicle mode. I like it. I mean, it looks like it's supposed to. It looks like that motorcycle. I totally dig it. It's more successful than a lot of small motorcycles we've seen. Like, I go back to the Legends Groove mold. It's okay, but this is better. It really, really is. I'm impressed. Transformation, man. 10. So we had a look. That was 8. We had 8.75. We had articulation that I think is a 10. I don't think there's much more I could want. And we have a transformation that's a 10. If you are a Legends collector, or you want a smaller motorcycle that would look good next to a vehicle, or I think it would, this might be your best way to go. For example, There he is, next to the kind of Alpha Strike Squadron version of Lambo or a clone Sideswipe or whatever you want to call them. Like, I feel like that this is a sensible scale for what a motorcycle would scale with a car. I like him. I think that he's the right scale. I think he is very functional. He's extremely stable standing up. He can strike a number of poses. Fun, interesting transformation, and an excellent addition to any Legends or even mainline collection for a version of the character that feels and fits the way he should be. And man, here we are once again, and here he is. Look, the articulation is stupendous. He is so super solid on all of his legs. I totally dig it. The articulation is bonkers good for this, and everything actually feels good. The plastic quality feels great. I don't feel like anything's going to break, as tiny as it is. We have pins at most of the joints, which I like, and while he has a backpack, and you would think that would be obtrusive, it's really not. About the only weakness here is that I wish we had some more green paint. But the paint that's on him is done well, and there's a fair amount of it. A lot of it is gunmetal gray, which is really good. The head sculpt is great. I like the red eyes and the green mohawk and the gold grill. Like I said, a couple of little green splotches, but I can almost add that myself if it really bothers me that much. I think that the motorcycle mode is tremendously well done, and I feel like that the transformation is more interesting than one might initially think it is. Is this guy going to be for everyone? No, because I think the size will really be an issue. But I think for my taste, my sensibilities, and my collection, the scaling of this guy is absolutely perfect. It's just a bonus that he functions so well as well. Let me know what you think about this iteration of Mohawk, that being Dr. Wu's Mozart. I appreciate you guys coming by and giving me some of your extremely valuable time. I do know how important it is to you. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon, see what we offer to you through Teespring, or of course hit the join button right here on YouTube to become a channel member, baby. While you're at it, hit the subscribe button, stick around, have some fun with us. Don't forget that somehow, someway, each and every single day, you do make a difference. And I look forward to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either in the live streams on Thursday nights at the stop motion premieres, or the old-fashioned way right here inside the videos.